Before we start looking at ways to handle errors in PHP, I wanted to touch on a few topics that beginner programmers tend to get confused. Bugs are normally errors in code that the programmer coded that produce a result, and that result is not correct. For example, let's say that we were creating a power function. If we send two arguments to the power function like 2 and 3, we might expect that the power function will raise 2 to the power of 3. If you get 8, the function performed as was intended. If you get something other than 8, for example, let's say 23, the function has a bug. This type of bug is referred to as a semantical error. The code passes compilation or interpretation and it functions but produces the wrong result. A bug can also be catastrophic that terminates a program, like for example forgetting a semicolon. This type of error is called a syntax error. It will not pass compilation or interpretation. An exception may be raised while the code is executing. For example, let's say that the code is retrieving some data from a database. The server that's hosting the code loses connection with the database server because of let's say a power failure. There's no issue with the code, it's a power failure, so an exception is thrown. Those exceptions can be caught and handled. So these exceptions don't have to be something as catastrophic as a power failure. You can specify that the function must accept, for example, only positive integer values. If a negative number is passed, an exception can be raised and handled. In the next video, we'll be looking at how to raise and handle these errors.